Hey everyone, this is Shakir again, and today we have a lot of work to do. In our today's video, we will be creating database and we will link the database with our application, Laravel application. But before that, guys, let's just do some fixing in our VS Code. We will just prepare the environment in our VS Code, and also we will make the terminal, this terminal here, and instead of opening it in another window like this, we will make it the default inside the VS Code. So as I said, we will be using VS Code. So the first thing we will do, let's just do it one by one. The first thing we will do, which is go to settings and make sure that you have autosave turned on. So instead of clicking every time Control S, you can just have this one not off, just make it after delay, and that's it. Also, you can change the font size here, but I'm not going to do that. This is the first thing we are going to do. The second thing I'm going to do is just making this. Let me just close this. So I'm gonna make the terminal, and instead of opening CMD, instead of opening terminal in PowerShell, this one PowerShell terminal, as you can see, it's partial. So I'm just going to make this terminal, as I mentioned before, the terminal from Laravel. I'm going to make it the default terminal. And to be able to do that, guys, we just go to settings. Let's just go to settings. And from settings, look here on the corner. You can see open setting JSON. Click on it. And then you will have this. Just press enter. Don't worry, this code I will place it in the description of this video. As you can see, we have this code, and also we have one more line, which is this one, terminal rated, sorry. And also we need to have default, yeah, default profile, sorry. So default profile windows, and here we just can say Laravel since we are using Laravel, and we need to add comma at the end. So that would be it for making our terminal as Laravel, for making Laravel terminal the default terminal here. Now, to do so, we just need to refresh now. Control Shift B, guys, then search for this one, reload window, and click on it, reload window. Let's just open the terminal again together now. Terminal, a new terminal. And as you can see, we have this terminal, which is Laragon. You see, this is the terminal Laragon. So let's just apply here, completed, injecting link, etc. So let's just say clear, and just to make it bigger so you guys can see, we have this is Laragon terminal. So we fixed this issue. Now let's install some things, some extensions that will help us to proceed smoothly with Laravel using VS Code. Now, on the left side, guys, you can see here we have the Explorer, and if you go down, don't worry about the other stuff. If you go down, we have extensions. So just click on extensions, and sorry, click on extensions, and here in the search box, follow me. So the first extension, it's Laravel extension pack, Laravel extension pack, and it's installed, of course, on my device, as you can see. So you need to find this one and install it. This is the first extension. The second extension, guys, we need to install, which is a PHP intelligence. So PHP intelligence, let's just load. Yeah, this one, which is also installed in my case. Just follow me with this video and install the same amount of downloads and everything. The third one, which is Laravel Blade Spacer, Laravel Blade Spacer, which is this one by Austin Cameron. So also it's installed. It's almost 600,000, and we also have Laravel ID helper. So we have Laravel ID helper, sorry, helper. So IDE helper. This one, you just need to click install and install it. This one exactly. So just install it. And also we will add a new one, which is this is no, I'm not gonna add this one here, to be honest. You can it's optional. It has nothing to do with Laravel. I'm talking about prettier. Then we have Also, easy snippet. The last one is easy snippet. There are a lot, so I need to memorize them. Easy snippet, we can just add it so it can be better user experience as a developer. And that's it, guys. So that's it when it comes to installing sorry, to yeah, installing the extensions. Now, one last thing, as I said in the last video, we will be creating database here, okay? So just before we go to the database, some some let's say concept I need you to know before we go there, which is the first one is migration. Let me talk about migration, guys. So if we go here to database, let's just close this, go to database. And in database, we have something called migrations. So migrations is just a way that we build our tables in Laravel. Okay, so as you can see, if I just open this is by the way, this is a default migration. It comes with Laravel when you create a new application. So when you create a new Laravel application, these migrations are already built in. So we just care now about the users table. This is called the users migration, which produce the user table. So if we just take a look at it, guys, we have user eliminated. Don't worry about this for now. Let's just see the class here and the function. We have the up function. Up function, it means what should happen when we create the data, when we create the table. So when I run migrate, when I run PHP artisan migrate, what should happen? So this is what happened. Everything you need to happen when you run your migration or when you try to build your table, it will be written here inside this public function up. Okay. So in this function, guys, we will just have our schema and we will have this create our schema. Okay. So this, if we just look at it, it's a facade it's called schema. And in this schema, we have function will be having the users, which is the table, the name of the table. It's called users. And also it will have callback function, which is a blueprint of the table itself. So inside the table, we will be creating our actual table, which is ID, the string name, the email, etc. Let me explain it one by one. So by default, we will have an ID for each table. If you dealt with databases before, we must have an ID. That's by default. Also, we must have a name. So the name of this user, we are dealing with users here. So this user have a name. So we're creating a new column, and this column, the type of this column is a string. And a string in Laravel is something else in SQL. Okay, so it's translated to something else. We will see it together when we create the table, and then we will have also email. And this email, guys, is a string also. The type of this email, the user have name and the user have ID and the user also have email. This email, the type of this email is a string, and also we chain. We call this chaining. We chain another method here and we call it, or another function you can call it, and sorry, another function, and this function is called unique. So this email must be unique. No more than one user can have the same email. So two users cannot have the same email. So the email must be unique. And also we have the timestamp, which is this created by default, by the way, email verified at, which is the time when was this email verified. You can create, you can leave it or create it. This is up to your requirement. Also, it can be nullable. So the email can be verified or not verified. It's okay. That is what it means to be nullable. And also we have password. The password is a string. And also we have the token, which is remember token. And also finally we have timestamp, which is created at and updated at. So this is what happened when we run migration. How do we run this migration? This migration is created, but how do we run it? By typing PHP artisan migrate. We will come to that later on. The next thing is, guys, which is the down. So what happens when I want to drop the database? Simply just a schema drop if exists. So if this table users exist, drop it, which means wipe it down. Just remove it. So that's what happened when I drop the database. This table will be removed. So this is the migration. Whenever you want to create a new table, you must create migration first. We will learn how to create our own custom migration. These are all default migration are already built in once you install or create a new Laravel application. Why did I introduce you to migrations right now? Because we are going to use the migrations now to create our table. Why are we going to create our table? Let's just see our next step. Our next step, guys, is to create our database. Remember, I said that we need to create our database so we can create our users, we can create whatever we need in our database. So first step is just go to your Laravel, and here on your database, just click on this one. And as you can see, this is just the database manager. Uh, Leave everything as it is and click on open. So as you can see here, we can see this dashboard, simple dashboard. It's similar somehow to PHP admin. Here, just click, right click, and create a new database. Give it a name. In this case, I'm just gonna give it real state. Control C and click on OK. So we created a new database. Let's just close this for now. Go to your VS Code again. So after we created the database, the next step, guys, is to connect our database to our Laravel application. So we have something here called .env. So in this .env, we have to handle the database connection. And to handle this database connection, guys, we will need to go to this section here. And in this section, guys, you can see that the DB connection, of course, MySQL, because I'm using MySQL. This is the DB host. Leave it as it is. The port also, we did not change it, which is 3306. Let's just make sure. So yeah, the port is 33 for MySQL is 3306. And this is the database name. I just copied the database I created. Remember that we created a database. So let's just open it again. We created database, we called it real estate. I copied the name. So this is the database I'm going to connect to, which is real estate. The username is root, we did not change it, and also the password, we don't have password in this example. The only thing that I need to change, which is here, the link, instead of going to localhost, we have another link. That link was the name real estate dot test. So that's it, guys. And to make sure that we connect our database. So this what I did now supposed to be enough to connect our database. Just to make sure that our database is connected, we have something called PHP artisan tinker. What this tinker command, guys? This tinker command is a command that allows us to interact with our application. So it allows us to interact directly with our Laravel application. What does that mean? Let me just enter it. So when I enter this Tinker shell, let's call it Tinker shell. Here I can add user, create a new user, do some mathematic, whatever. Any ways of interaction with our Laravel application can be done through Tinker. So let's just do some math together. 5 plus 5, enter, it will give you 10. And here I'm going to use something else just to make sure that we are connected to our database. It will fail now. I will show you why it will fail. I'm gonna try to pull all the users from the database in the tables users. But do I have a table called users yet? No. So in order to do that, guys, let's just do this together. So we just call the model. The model, we will talk about it later. Don't worry about it. And then we chain it with the method all. And we just, sorry, not chain it, just call the method all. And then that's it. And enter. As you can see here, we have some kind of error because we don't have users. Real estate.users does not exist. So we don't have real estate.users. That is because I created the migration. We have the migration, but we did not run the command php artisan migrate. So the command php artisan migrate will come here and check whatever migrations I have. And remember, migrations most likely are tables or editing existing table or maybe removing existing table. So when I run my PHP artisan migrate, let me just extend this up. When I run my PHP artisan migrate, it will come here and it will see all the migrations. It will start from this one, and then after it finishes this one, it will go to this one, then it will go to this one and this one. So it will come at the beginning, check the first migration. It will create this table, which is users. and then it will create this table, it will create this table, and also it will create this table. So if we just take a look at our database right now, let's go again to our database, open. Let's open our database, which is real estate. See this real estate, guys, it have nothing. It is empty, okay? Let's create our first table. How to create our first table in Laravel, guys? You just need to run the migration. So how to run the migration? PHP artisan and migrate. This is how to run the migration. Enter. You will see that creating the migration table, running migrations, create user table, created, done. Create password reset token. The other tables are created. Let's go back again to our database. We just needed to refresh this, guys. So after you create your database migration, you will see the new tables created. If we see the users table, we will see what we created. Remember that we said the ID, of course, the ID is auto increment. So once you create the ID, whenever you create a new user, it will add one number to it. So if we start with one, the second one will be two. That's what means by auto increment. The name, we said this name is a string in our Laravel, but here it is varchar. So the string equal varchar in SQL. Also the same thing for the email. The email we chose to be string. The string is up to 255. Also the email verified at, which is timestamp. We said it can be nullable, so it can be nullable. Um, it does not have here the name and email does not have default value, and no name or email should have default value. Also the password also no default value for it. It is varchar. Remember token also varchar or varchar, however you pronounce it. Created at and updated at. Remember we said these are timestamps and auto created with every single table. This is when you create a new entry in your table, it is just either created at when you create it, and when you update it, it have also a timestamp. So this is our table. Let's just make sure that our table, since we have the table, remember the mistake we faced when we run Tinker before? This is because we did not have a table before. Now, since we have a table, guys, let's go back to Tinker and to test if our connection is working or not. I am inside the Tinker right now. Let me just expand this up. I'm inside. I just run command PHP artisan Tinker. Let me just Control C to make things clearer to you. Let's go again and PHP artisan Tinker. We are inside Tinker, and now we will go to the model called user, and we will see all the users if we have any user. Since we don't have any user, we are supposed to have empty array. Okay, just click on enter. As you can see, now we have a response, not like before, and this response is we have all, but it returned empty because we have 0 users. That means our database is connected. If we change in env, if we just try to, let me close this, and just to show you guys that everything is working fine. If we change the name of the database here, so instead of real estate, let me just add 4 at the end of it. Go back again to PHP Artisan Tinker. We enter the Tinker again, and here let's just click on all. You will see we have the mistake again because we don't have a table called real estate 4. I hope this makes sense to you guys. If you have any question, please leave it under the video. Um, I will leave the code that we used at the beginning of the video in the description. If you have any question, leave it under the video. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry this video almost 20 minutes. It's already too far and too big, too long, sorry. So hope you enjoyed it.